When it first aired in 1983, The Thorn Birds became a television phenomenon, capturing millions of viewers worldwide with its sweeping romance, family drama, and unforgettable performances. The miniseries featured a remarkable cast led by Richard Chamberlain and Rachel Ward, bringing Colleen McCullough's best-selling novel to life. But while the story remains timeless, not all of the talented actors who graced the screen are still with us today. Over the years, several beloved cast members have sadly passed away, leaving behind lasting legacies. In this video, we honor the actors from The Thorn Birds who have tragically died and look back at their contributions to this TV classic. Richard Chamberlain was born on March 31, 1934, in Los Angeles, California, and at 49, he took on the role of Father Ralph de Bracassard in The Thorn Birds, 1983, a Catholic priest whose ambition and forbidden love set the emotional core of the saga. Chamberlain's on-screen presence combined refined elegance, restrained passion, and an aura of inner conflict that enthralled viewers and solidified his status as the king of the miniseries. Born to a middle-class family in Los Angeles, he experienced a childhood shadowed by parental expectations and social pressures, struggling with feelings of isolation and the necessity to conceal his emotions. These formative years instilled both a meticulous attention to craft and a private, introspective demeanor. His personal life was fraught with challenges. For decades, Chamberlain lived as a closeted gay man, contending with societal stigma, internalized fear, and the constant risk of scandal, which influenced the guarded intensity of his performances. Career-wise, he experienced highs and lows, including being typecast in romantic television roles despite his desire for theatrical and filmic diversity, and facing periods of professional stagnation in Hollywood. After revealing his sexuality publicly in a 2003 memoir, he navigated the industry with a renewed sense of personal freedom, though he had endured long years of suppression and careful image management. Chamberlain passed away on March 29, 2025, in Waimanalo, Hawaii, 2 days shy of his 91st birthday, leaving an estate valued around $20 million, derived from decades of work in television, film, and endorsements, as well as real estate holdings. His legacy remains iconic, a blend of cultural resonance, pioneering work in television miniseries, and a personal narrative of resilience, secrecy, and eventual self-affirmation that continues to influence actors navigating the tension between private life and public persona. Christopher Plummer was born on December 13, 1929, in Toronto, Canada, and at 53, he assumed the role of Archbishop Vittorio Contini Vercese in The Thorn Birds, 1983, portraying a church leader whose wisdom and political savvy guided and occasionally constrained Father Ralph. Plummer's portrayal combined gravitas, subtle menace, and understated mentorship, lending the series a weighty authority that mirrored his own reputation as a consummate Shakespearean actor. Raised in a cultured Canadian household, he was exposed to classical literature and theater early, but his formative years were not without hardship, frequent relocations, the pressures of academic achievement, and the necessity to navigate the expectations of an elite social milieu created a childhood of both privilege and underlying tension, fostering a perfectionist streak and occasionally abrasive temperament. Professionally, Plummer endured moments of frustration in Hollywood, including typecasting, clashes with directors who failed to recognize his stage-honed abilities, and the challenge of balancing commercial film work with serious theater ambitions. He experienced personal tragedies as well, including the loss of close family members and professional disappointments that threatened to derail his focus, yet he persevered with relentless dedication to craft. Even in his later years, Plummer maintained a rigorous work ethic, famously continuing to perform on stage and screen despite declining health, until complications from a fall led to his death on February 5, 2021, in Weston, Connecticut, at 91. His estate, estimated at $20 million, encompassed earnings from stage, film, and television, along with real estate and investments, leaving a cultural legacy as one of the most versatile, disciplined, and intellectually formidable actors of his generation, celebrated for a career that spanned over 7 decades and influenced countless performers worldwide. Barbara Stanwyck, born Ruby Catherine Stevens on July 16, 1907, in Brooklyn, New York, was 76 when she portrayed Mary Carson in The Thorn Birds, 1983, a formidable, wealthy matriarch whose manipulative actions and unrequited love for Father Ralph drive much of the narrative's tragic tension. Stanwyck's performance radiated intensity, control, and layered emotional complexity, reflecting a life forged in hardship and resilience. Orphaned at age 4 and raised in foster homes, she endured extreme deprivation, social marginalization, and emotional neglect, shaping a survivalist mentality that propelled her into a fiercely independent career. Her personal life was equally tumultuous. She endured a troubled marriage, experienced estrangement from her adopted son, and navigated Hollywood's pressures as a woman in an industry rife with exploitation, objectification, and rumor, all while maintaining an image of strength and dignity. Professionally, she achieved remarkable success but faced obstacles such as gender-based pay disparities, typecasting, and periodic professional isolation, yet she consistently commanded respect and critical acclaim. In her final years, Stanwyck's health declined due to congestive heart failure and chronic pulmonary disease, leading to her death on January 20, 1990, in Santa Monica, California, at 82. At her passing, her estate was valued at approximately $10 million, including film royalties, property, and savings. Beyond financial wealth, her legacy is cultural and symbolic, a testament to perseverance, artistic excellence, and the capacity to transform personal adversity into compelling, enduring performances that continue to inspire generations of actors and audiences alike. Jean Simmons, born January 31, 1929, in Islington, London, stepped into the role of Fiona Fee Cleary in The Thorn Birds, 1983, at age 54, portraying the stoic, emotionally restrained matriarch whose quiet suffering and unwavering maternal devotion formed the emotional core of the Cleary family saga. Fee was a character of remarkable depth, conveying heartbreak, resilience, and moral fortitude in a way that resonated powerfully with audiences. Her understated grief and dignified strength left an indelible mark on the miniseries, while off-screen, Simmons' own life was marked by both glamour and hardship. Born into a modest working-class family, Simmons experienced the hardships of a childhood shadowed by the death of her father, economic precarity, and the pressures of a society that undervalued women's professional aspirations. She was discovered at a young age and quickly swept into the Hollywood machine, where she endured the controlling influence of Howard Hughes, whose restrictive contracts and manipulations challenged her personal autonomy and emotional well-being. Simmons' career soared with both critical and commercial acclaim, yet her personal life was marred by tumultuous relationships, including a widely publicized marriage to Stuart Granger that involved infidelity rumors, emotional turbulence, and intense media scrutiny. Beyond romance, she grappled privately with insecurity, the pressures of fame, and the psychological toll of embodying tragic, dramatic roles over decades. These compounded stresses were exacerbated by health challenges later in life, particularly her long-term battle with smoking-related illness. Professionally, she continued to reinvent herself, moving between British and American cinema with remarkable versatility, culminating in her Emmy-winning performance in The Thorn Birds, which showcased her ability to convey profound emotional subtlety and command audience empathy. Simmons died on January 22, 2010, in Santa Monica, California, just days shy of her 81st birthday, succumbing to lung cancer. Her estate was valued around $10 million, encompassing intellectual property rights from decades of film and television, real estate, and personal collections. Piper Laurie, born Rosetta Jacobs on January 22, 1932, in Detroit, Michigan, portrayed in Mueller in The Thorn Birds, 1983, at age 51, bringing warmth, steadiness, and quiet moral clarity to the role of a trusted friend to the Cleary family. Laurie's was grounded, resilient, and emotionally empathetic, offering audiences a stabilizing presence amidst the miniseries' intense drama, while off-screen, Laurie's life was a narrative of reinvention, personal courage, and quiet defiance against Hollywood's often punishing structures. She grew up in a working-class Jewish household during the Great Depression, an environment marked by economic hardship, societal discrimination, and high expectations for propriety and achievement, which shaped her early awareness of inequality and the necessity of self-reliance. Laurie's career began with early promise, yet she faced significant challenges, including a period of typecasting and professional disappointment that prompted a self-imposed hiatus from film, a decision that fueled rumors of disfavor and nearly derailed her momentum in the entertainment industry. Her personal life was equally complex. She endured a divorce and navigated relationships under intense public scrutiny, managing both private vulnerability and professional ambition while reconciling the demands of Hollywood's public gaze with her own need for autonomy. Despite these obstacles, she achieved a triumphant return to prominence with her electrifying performances in Carrie and Children of a Lesser God, earning multiple Academy Award nominations and critical acclaim, demonstrating her resilience and capacity for reinvention. Laurie also grappled with the emotional toll of fame and the pressures of aging in an industry obsessed with youth, often retreating from the spotlight while continuing to hone her craft and mentor younger actors. She passed away on October 14, 2023, in Los Angeles at age 91 from natural causes. Her estate was estimated at $6 million, derived from film residuals, stage work, and real estate holdings, reflecting both financial prudence and professional longevity. Earl Holliman, born September 11, 1928, in Delhi, Louisiana, brought the role of Luddy Mueller to life in The Thorn Birds, 1983, at age 55, portraying a jovial, steadfast, and kind-hearted character whose humor, optimism, and emotional stability provided essential counterbalance to the Cleary family's trials. On screen, Holliman's Luddy exuded charm, approachability, and resilience, earning audience affection as the relatable everyman whose loyalty and warmth were indispensable to the story's emotional core. Holliman's own upbringing was steeped in adversity. Born into poverty, abandoned at birth, and later adopted, he confronted early experiences of neglect, deprivation, and identity formation under circumstances that demanded both resourcefulness and emotional fortitude. Professionally, Holliman carved a career navigating the often unforgiving terrain of Hollywood, appearing in westerns, dramas, and science fiction films, yet contending with repeated professional challenges including typecasting, inconsistent work opportunities, and the precariousness of sustaining relevance in a rapidly evolving industry. Personal life brought additional trials. Holliman faced periods of familial estrangement, the difficulty of maintaining private life under public scrutiny, and occasional professional rivalries, which contributed to ongoing stress and emotional labor. Despite these obstacles, he channeled his energies into activism, serving as president of Actors and Others for Animals for 25 years, transforming personal resilience into public advocacy, and using his platform to influence policy and awareness on behalf of vulnerable animals. Holliman's ability to integrate compassion, professional discipline, and creative expression exemplified his response to personal adversity, allowing him to leave a multifaceted legacy both on screen and off. He passed away peacefully on November 25, 2024, in Studio City, California, at age 96. His estate was valued at approximately $4 million, consisting of accumulated acting income, real estate, and charitable contributions, marking a life that balanced personal triumph, public impact, and sustained artistic contribution. Bill Morey, born December 19, 1919, in Framingham, Massachusetts, portrayed Angus McQueen in The Thorn Birds, 1983, at age 63, embodying a gruff yet reliable overseer whose loyalty and work ethic anchored the draw to estate's complex dynamics. On screen, Morey's character exuded an understated strength, balancing authority with empathy, creating a sense of realism that grounded the sweeping melodrama of the series. His early life was framed by the turbulence of the Great Depression and the challenges of a working-class New England family. Financial strain and social expectations instilled in him resilience and a measured disposition, yet also a tendency to internalize disappointment and mask vulnerability. Morey's trajectory was shaped by service in World War II, an experience that deepened his gravitas and emotional range. Professionally, he began in radio and theater, navigating the slow climb to film and television, facing repeated setbacks due to industry ageism and typecasting as a character actor. Personal tragedy struck in subtle ways. The pressures of balancing a late-blooming Hollywood career with family obligations, coupled with the death of close colleagues and mentors, imposed emotional tolls he seldom revealed publicly. Morey coped through dedication to craft, embracing each role with meticulous attention and professionalism, mentoring younger actors quietly, and finding solace in steady work rather than fame. He passed away on December 10, 2003, in Santa Monica, California, just shy of his 84th birthday. His estate, though modest and reflective of a lifelong character-actor career, included personal property and residuals, leaving a legacy defined less by wealth than by a reputation for dependability, integrity, and the understated power of nuanced performance that continues to resonate with audiences who appreciate the invisible architecture of great ensemble acting. Allen and McLary, born December 1, 1926, in Grand Mère, Quebec, Canada, took on the role of Mrs. Smith in The Thorn Birds, 1983, at age 56, portraying a quietly observant housekeeper whose gentle wisdom and understated charm enriched the domestic tapestry of the series. On screen, her character was a stabilizing presence, conveying warmth and insight while subtly influencing the emotional currents among the principal characters. McLary's childhood unfolded in a Franco-Canadian environment marked by modest means and cultural expectations that emphasized poise and discipline. She encountered hardship in the form of familial instability and early pressures to excel, which instilled in her a stoic resilience and a capacity to conceal inner conflict beneath a graceful exterior. Her career, spanning musical theater, film, and television, featured triumphs alongside trials. She danced with Balanchine and DeMille, starred in Calamity Jane, and navigated the male-dominated entertainment industry, facing occasional marginalization, typecasting, and the relentless scrutiny applied to female performers. Personal life offered both stability and shadowed complexity. Her enduring marriage to actor George Gaines provided grounding, yet she experienced the silent strains of public expectations and the emotional toll of balancing creative ambition with domestic responsibilities. McLary's later years were overshadowed by Alzheimer's disease, which eroded her vibrant presence even as her professional legacy endured. She passed away on May 21, 2018, in North Bend, Washington, at age 91. While her net worth was not widely reported, her estate included royalties, real estate, and memorabilia from a prolific career, leaving behind an intangible cultural legacy, a record of elegance, versatility, and the subtle artistry of an actor whose impact transcended her screen time and continues to inspire admiration among theater and television aficionados. Ken Howard, born March 28, 1944, in El Centro, California, played Rainer Hartheim in The Thorn Birds, 1983, at age 39, a wealthy, commanding suitor whose presence injected tension into Maggie's narrative arc, demonstrating power, sophistication, and moral ambiguity. On screen, Howard's towering 6 feet 6 inches frame and dignified demeanor amplified the character's magnetic yet menacing allure, creating a vivid contrast to other characters' vulnerabilities. Howard's upbringing was steeped in California's mid-20th century cultural milieu, marked by a blend of opportunity and challenge. He contended with a family navigating economic uncertainty and high expectations, shaping a personality that combined ambition, self-discipline, and resilience while fostering an enduring need for affirmation. Tragedy and adversity punctuated his life. He survived a kidney transplant, battled prostate cancer, and faced the intense pressures of Hollywood fame while navigating union leadership as president of the Screen Actors Guild and later SAG-AFTRA. These experiences exposed him to personal and professional stress, including political infighting, the strain of advocacy under public scrutiny, and the emotional impact of chronic illness, all of which informed his empathetic, commanding on-screen presence. Howard coped through tireless dedication to craft and social engagement, advocating for actors' rights while maintaining a robust acting career, including Emmy-winning performances in memorable roles that showcased both authority and vulnerability. He passed away on March 23, 2016, in Valencia, California, just 5 days before his 72nd birthday, leaving an estate estimated at $2 million, encompassing properties, royalties, and personal investments. His enduring legacy encompasses not only the breadth of his performances but also his influence on industry standards, labor rights, and mentorship, leaving a multifaceted imprint on American cultural life and television history, with stories of resilience, leadership, and artistry that remain largely untold to the public. Richard Kiley, born on March 31, 1922, in Chicago, Illinois, portrayed Patty Cleary in The Thorn Birds, 1983, at the age of 61, embodying the steadfast, morally upright patriarch whose quiet dignity anchored the sprawling Cleary family saga. On screen, Patty's warmth, resilience, and devotion to his family captivated viewers, and Kylie's commanding presence and resonant baritone brought gravitas to the role, lending a sense of authenticity and moral weight to the character. Kylie was born into a working-class Irish-American family, where financial hardship and the early loss of extended family members instilled both responsibility and a profound understanding of personal sacrifice. He often hid his emotional pain behind disciplined study and dedication to the arts, and this resilience shaped his approach to performance. Personal tragedy and life-altering events marked Kylie's journey. He endured the death of close family members and navigated the emotional toll of grueling stage and screen schedules, while the intense pressure of Broadway's competitive environment sometimes exacerbated feelings of isolation. Yet Kylie transformed these challenges into artistic triumph, delivering performances that reflected both personal insight and universal human struggles, earning multiple Tony Awards and an Emmy. Professionally, he faced moments of disappointment when productions failed or critics dismissed his interpretations, yet his integrity and commitment never wavered. Richard Kiley passed away on March 5, 1999, in Middletown, New York, from a bone marrow disease at age 76. At the time of his death, his estate, estimated between $5 and $10 million, included real estate, royalties, and valuable memorabilia from his distinguished stage and screen career. Beyond material wealth, Kylie's legacy endures through the enduring admiration for his roles, his influence on theater and television acting, and the quiet reverence with which colleagues remember him, an actor whose personal fortitude translated into timeless artistry, leaving audiences both inspired and emotionally moved. Richard Venture, born Richard Charles Venturella on November 12, 1923, in New York City, appeared as Harry Goff in The Thorn Birds, 1983, at the age of 60, portraying a pragmatic, sometimes aloof figure whose entanglement in church politics added tension and subtle realism to the narrative. Venture's screen presence conveyed gravitas mixed with bureaucratic detachment, giving audiences a glimpse of the internal maneuvering behind the Cleary family saga. Raised in New York to an Italian-American family, Venture's early life was shaped by the discipline of a post-war urban environment and service in the U.S. Navy during World War II, experiences that imbued him with resilience but also exposed him to the traumas of military life. Personal incidents, including 4 marriages and the challenges of maintaining relationships in a career demanding constant mobility, created episodes of emotional turbulence and public curiosity, though Venture remained largely private about these matters. Professionally, he confronted both triumphs and setbacks. Despite appearing in over 80 films and numerous television roles, he was often relegated to supporting characters, leading to professional frustration and moments of self-doubt. After personal and career disappointments, Venture navigated life with pragmatic persistence, continuing to work steadily while managing familial responsibilities and private struggles. He passed away on December 19, 2017, in Chester, Connecticut, at age 94. His estate, including residuals and modest property holdings, is estimated under $1 million, reflecting a career of consistency rather than fame. Venture's legacy lies in his dependability as a character actor, the subtle power he brought to roles, and the understated influence he left on television and film, an enduring testament to craft over celebrity, and a life marked by quiet resilience and professional respect. Meg Wiley, born Margaret Gillespie Wiley on February 15, 1917, in Honolulu, Hawaii, appeared at age 66 in The Thorn Birds, 1983, as Annie, a minor yet pivotal character who added domestic texture and narrative depth to the Cleary household. Wiley's portrayal, though brief, imbued the character with warmth and perceptive subtlety, capturing the audience's attention through nuanced expressions and timing that revealed a wealth of life experience behind the screen. Born into a multi-ethnic Hawaiian family, Wiley experienced the hardships of growing up in a remote locale with limited opportunities, often facing social and racial prejudices that necessitated emotional self-containment and resilience from an early age. Her life was punctuated by tragedies and pivotal challenges, including intense professional competition, personal health struggles, and the relentless pressure of sustaining a career in a male-dominated, hierarchical television industry. These experiences shaped her craft, allowing Wiley to bring depth to every supporting role, transforming potential anonymity into memorable performances. Despite a long and varied career, she faced the disappointment of typecasting and the frustration of uncredited work, yet she persevered, contributing to iconic series including Star Trek and countless other 1950s, 1980s productions, often serving as the first memorable female antagonist in early sci-fi. Meg Wiley passed away on January 1, 2002, in Glendale, California, at the age of 84 from heart failure. Her estate, though modest and never publicly disclosed, included personal memorabilia, small property holdings, and the residual income from decades of guest appearances, symbolizing a career built on consistent professionalism rather than fame. Her cultural legacy, however, is far greater. Wiley's work shaped the portrayal of strong, versatile character roles for women on television, inspiring generations of actors and leaving a quiet but indelible mark on Hollywood history, particularly in her pioneering roles in science fiction and television drama. Rance Howard, born November 17, 1928, in Duncan, Oklahoma, portrayed Doc Wilson in The Thorn Birds, 1983, at age 55, bringing to life a character whose understated presence and rural wisdom provided crucial emotional ballast amid the sweeping family saga. Doc Wilson was the embodiment of quiet morality, empathy, and steadfastness, a figure whose every word carried the weight of lived experience, and Howard infused the role with a subtle authenticity drawn from his own life. Growing up in Oklahoma during the Great Depression, Rance experienced financial hardship and social limitations that instilled a sense of resilience and practicality. He faced emotional strain early, including the loss of close relatives and the challenges of a modest upbringing that forced him to confront mortality, scarcity, and societal expectations from a young age. His early ambitions in performance were repeatedly tested by rejection, small roles, and the precariousness of Hollywood life, yet these setbacks only strengthened his resolve, teaching him patience and the value of collaborative artistry. Personal tragedy and professional disappointment shaped his approach to acting. He developed a philosophy of humility and quiet perseverance, channeling his experiences into nuanced performances and a commitment to mentoring younger actors, including his son, Ron Howard. Howard's career spanned over 100 films and television roles, often portraying character parts that required understated gravitas, yet behind the scenes he faced private struggles with maintaining financial stability while supporting a family in an industry notorious for unpredictability. He passed away on November 25, 2017, in Los Angeles at age 89 due to heart failure complicated by West Nile virus, leaving a net worth estimated between $2 to $3 million. His legacy endures not only through his own extensive body of work but also through the Howard family's multi-generational influence in Hollywood, where his professionalism, mentorship, and ability to sustain a long career in character acting remain an inspirational blueprint for both contemporaries and descendants, reflecting a life of quiet yet profound impact that extended far beyond the screen. Nan Martin, born July 15, 1927, in Decatur, Illinois, assumed the role of Sister Agatha in The Thorn Birds, 1983, at age 56, delivering a performance steeped in rigid moral authority, unwavering faith, and complex humanity. Sister Agatha's stern, uncompromising demeanor amplified the tension between desire and duty within the Cleary family saga, and Martin's portrayal brought depth and subtle nuance to what could have been a purely austere archetype. Raised in the Midwest during the hardships of post-Depression America, Martin's childhood was marked by modest means, early familial responsibilities, and a social environment that demanded adaptability, poise, and self-restraint, traits she carried into her professional life. These formative experiences instilled a drive to excel in acting, yet her career was punctuated by episodes of rejection, typecasting, and the professional invisibility often faced by women in Hollywood's mid-20th century landscape. Martin's personal life mirrored the intensity of her professional one. She married twice, raised 2 children, including actor Zen Gessner, and navigated the challenges of balancing family obligations with the demands of a career that required frequent travel and long hours on set. Health struggles, including emphysema in her later years, compounded these pressures, ultimately leading to her death on March 4, 2010, in Malibu, California, at age 82. Despite modest financial accumulation, her legacy lies in the extraordinary breadth of her work, encompassing guest roles in The Twilight Zone, A Nightmare on Elm Street, and countless television dramas, revealing a performer capable of inhabiting a vast emotional spectrum. Her impact is measured not in celebrity or wealth but in her enduring contributions to television history, the memorable authority of her on-screen presence, and the quiet mentorship she offered younger actors navigating the same turbulent professional terrain that she so deftly traversed. Though time has passed, the laughter they gave us still echoes. The cast of The Thorn Birds brought joy to millions, and even though some of them are no longer with us, their performances live on. As we remember those we've lost, we also celebrate the legacy they left behind, one that continues to entertain and connect generations. Thank you for joining us in honoring these unforgettable stars. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tributes to the legends of television history.